Okay, everybody, welcome back. And someone was asking about the guppy. I mean, Joseph was, but somebody else also. I mean, I don't follow cross rates. We did go on and look at that, and a couple of guys were saying that the analysis prevented them from taking some big losses. We can just look at it real quick. Let's see where we're at. So remember how we talked about there was going to come back, you wouldn't really want to buy it until it got all the way into the blue zone, and we're looking at this area and we said, hey, you got to watch it, make sure we don't close below this, this 75 is going to be your key if you were just hell bent to buy it. So it rallied up, and look, there's the 44, there's our resistance, there's our level here, all those touches. So it went above 44, now pulled back. So it's back in the blue zone. The key thing is most people think, not only most people, I'm saying analysts, think that the cable is going to have more trouble. So when you look at the overall outlook, it probably suggests more fall. Japan's trying to do what they can. It said that they were focusing on trying to drive those, I don't know if they're buying more overnight or whatever. But that you're not getting a lot of bang for that buck. My guess is if they're having those problems, I'm saying is they're looking for more issues with the UK, and they're expecting now the data to come in a little bit weaker. My guess is you're going to have to go and test these lows here one more time. Whether we make it here back to the bias pivot, we'll have to see. I mean, it probably makes more sense is that they would have to come back there. But I really wouldn't be interested in trying to get long this until we took out these lows here. And then try and test it out. That's what we'll look at. So let's go and take it to Kiwi. That's what we were trying to take a look at before we went on break. So let's see what's going on here. I think we did say we stuck with the bias pivot as support. It makes sense that they'll have to go down there, but of course, like I said, the whole thing about us, the dollar being going to have to lose some steam, blah blah blah. So we have 72.25. We're going to keep that. We have resistance at 73.61. Really, I mean, for today, we'll put the resistance here. It's even going to be a little bit lower, but just in case. Give a little extra room. $73.25. Okay, the next one up is the dollar CAD. We had 29.32 and 30.51. Well, we just came up to 30.51 right now. Here's 30.54. We had, so let's see what they're doing now. I'm trying to come back a little bit. So we had 30.51. So, oh yeah, there's our little orange bar here. Decent area to clip out if you want to jump out real quick before NFP. Yeah, Jess is on the guppy. I like your 39.36 line. Okay, well, thanks, Jess. we kept the resistance pretty tight here. I mean, I don't know how that number, we don't know for sure. What surprises me is that the NFP poll is still only 175, despite the ADP, which isn't always that close, but I thought they would have at least upped it up to like maybe 190 or something. So that's pretty surprising. Obviously, if we get a strong number, we'll try and push it up. We'll just keep the resistance here. Well, I mean, we're going to move it, but we'll put it right there. Probably going to be like 30.95 or something. 30.97. And support, we'll just keep it at 29.32. That's fine. So the next one is the dollar Swiss. Okay, let's get this updated. So we had support at 98.44 and 99.58 was resistance. Okay, here we are, 99.58. So they made it up here. You can see a little pushback. I mean, they got a hair above it. Well, they actually got up to 72. So about, well, actually a hair even higher than that, 74. They're struggling here a little bit. Let's, in case we get a good number, let's take a look at a fib. So we stopped right at the 23%. You see that? I mean, it looks like we need to stop at 75 or 74, but there's, so 1046, a par and 46 is going to be the 38%, so we'll mark that wrong. So let's see. It's going to be the 38%. 98.62. Remember when the dollar Swiss was up here, it looked like the dollar was going to the moon. It just shows you how quickly things can change. The euro was going to below parity. Now all of a sudden everything's flipped. You have to be malleable in these markets. And everybody starts running to the other side of the ship after nobody wanted that side of the ship. For today, obviously we get some big blowout number. I'd say there. So let's mark this off. Par 004. So we'll mark that off. So it's going to be par 04. 1.004. Well, it's going to keep these people. It's going to go 0004 there. Hopefully everybody can figure that out. Should be able to. On support, take a look here. Support's going to be 98.92. So that was pretty easy. And once again, I can't stress enough. You see how these markets, they just trade level to level. That's what they're doing. I mean, you know, then they take out one level and they'll just move to the next level and see what happens. Obviously, then, if you've really turned the momentum around, then that next level is probably just going to be a minor pause before they just keep on assaulting. Jess says, thanks for all your help on cable and Guppy this week. Yeah, sure. I'm more happy to help. So we're taking a look at the dollar yen. This has been a real interesting one all week long. I haven't done anything in the dollar yen in quite a while, to be honest with you. So, but we talked about this 11.99 and then the potential that this could eventually get down to 11.65. So we'll still put this down here. Let's see. So if we get a blowout number, I don't like this thing being so long. We're going to go with this right here. That is 1360. So 1360 is going to be resistance, and support is going to be 1255. I mean, it might drop a little hair lower. We'll actually put it right there. 1253. Okay, 1253 and 1360. Perfect. We're going to say this is in a range because it's been all over the doggone place. So we'll go into the cash dollar index now. Let me save this for my reason of work. Seems like there's always something going on. Okay, so the cash dollar index, we had 99 and 99.92. So we had a pretty tight range. So we recovered nicely. We even said 99.92, which was, oh, that was even higher than that. So we got up here and we got a little bit of a pushback and we're reasserting ourselves. Got this area right here, par 23. We're not that far away. If we're going to go with the blowout number thing, we have to factor that in because it doesn't do any good to say, well, we're right here at resistance, and then we get a blowout number, then like, well, where are we at now? So this is more of what we're looking at in case we get a stronger number, and that's going to come in at par 42 in case we get a very strong number. Resistance on the cash dollar index is going to be par. Oh, doggone it. What the heck? I've got everything going all discombobulated. Hang on. So support now, and that's what I got. The par 41 or 42 is a resistance, and the support would be 99.67 right there. So we'll move this here. Right there. You see all these little touches here? So 99.67 is support. So we've paid a pretty good healthy debt because we're clipping along. Luke Lucas says he reads that 19 states raised the minimum wage starting from January. Risk also of a wage growth beat. Well, not now because that wouldn't be reflected. Even if they raise it in January, you're not even going to probably see it in February. We might see a little bit because this is the January report, but it just came in place. I don't think you're going to see. I mean, the wage growth is already strong to start with, so I don't think you'd see the real effects of that until next month. And it's 19 states out of 50. You'll see some, but the wage growth is already strong. So that's what I'm saying is it goes back to the whole thing. So if the euro corrects and goes back up, and we make a move towards, let's say, the upper 109s, that's a good bet. I think that 1043, like I said, I think the market, everybody would be selling that with impunity. And then, so obviously we get the strong wage growth. We're going to be with the dollar back on the ascent, but that's still a little ways out. We got to get through today and see how things kind of play out for right now. But we're clipping along pretty good on our analysis, getting prepared for NFP. I mean, as far as the amount of stuff we're covering. So we're going to the dollar peso. We had 2049, 2065. We've really tightened up this range pretty good. So we had 2049 and 2065. Looks like we got as low as 2043. 2049 and 2065. Oh, that's where we came with the 65 there. We'll keep the 2065 there. And we'll keep the 2049 too. It took a quick dip under there, but you can see it's staying well within this 2049, just here. And don't forget, we still have these two Fibonacci confluences here. So even though the market overshot a little bit, it's hard to, just like we talked about the euro above 108, you can get above it, you can, stab it and see if you can pop some, hit some stops. But it doesn't mean it'll be able to stay down. There's like Pipsar used to say, trying to hold a beach ball under water. I mean, you can hold it under water, but at some point you're going to say, all right, enough already. I can't do it anymore. So, they were able to get it beyond this 2055, but look, it's already back above it. Now, like I said, it's been a real push and pull. Even if you look here, you even had an inverted hammer. Talk on it. You see right here, you had two back-to-back inverted hammers. So this probably stopped out a lot of people. And then it looked like we should be set to see some nice short covering, but like I said, going into NFP, no one's really going to take any stabs on it. This could allow for a nice, we can really start to work higher at this point once we get past all this. You know what, because of that, we're going to put the resistance at 2071 for right now. But this market can start to work higher now, I believe. Boys, be careful. We came down here in some good support. So 2071, we'll make it 2071. Just because of technically the way, I think on a very short-term base, 2065, but this 2071, it looks like this market is really oversold. We came to two fibs, and I think we could start to move that around, going in the other direction. The next one is the dollar krona. $868 and $876. Well, I don't know. We even got past $876. We knew this market was really oversold. We talked about this. We spent quite a bit of time discussing this market and saying, how we've met all these different objectives, and even here, and this 868 was really good support here, and how we thought the market really we thought right in here, and we'll open this up. Hold on. We thought here we're gonna be able to mount a rally, and then all of a sudden the Trump's advisor Navarro says the dollar's way overdone and blah blah blah, and euro's undervalued and grossly undervalued, and then like I said, then we took another turn for the worse. And we talked about hey look, that'll happen when you got a market this low. You can start to see the inklings of maybe we're starting to run higher, but you can certainly take another get whacked again. And obviously we got this event where Navarro, the Trump advisor, says, hey, euro is grossly undervalued, the dollar, and then Trump goes on about, maybe the U.S. should be devaluing. They're a bunch of dummies for not devaluing like everybody else. So that obviously took us for this new leg lower. But we've already hit all these targets. So I'm not saying the market can't go lower. It's just that you don't get a lot of oomph behind a move like that. So that's what I'm saying is we can still eventually move higher here. So we'll keep the support at 868. We did have this, it was 879. We'll move this to right here, right there. We'll see where that takes us. That's 836. Okay, something's wrong here. Okay. Oh, okay. That's 8836. The wonder. Okay, so hold on. So let's go and take a look at the support now. So support, we're going to be looking at, we had this marked off. That's what they make another leg down. I don't really see that. I mean, let's be realistic. There, 87494, basically 875. So we'll go with 8.750. When we come back, we'll look at the Noki and we'll get the other analysis done before the NFP. And thanks for joining us here on the Morning Edge.